guys, Charyl here from Planner with a Praise. If this is your first time coming to my channel, then welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. And I hope by now you have already decided to subscribe to my channel and are now a part of the Praise team. So my friends, it is Wednesday or after August 5th, and I am closing out my weekly expenses from August 25th through August 31st. So before I begin, let me just show you some of the tools and instruments that I will be working with to prepare for today. I have a notebook, just a little pad that I am writing with. I have an erasable pen. Here is my calculator, and I have these 4 highlighter / colorful markers that I will be using, or should I say that I have already used. Lastly, I have a printout of my bank statement that I have just marked all up to prepare for today's video. And now that you know all that I am using for today, we could go ahead and get started. So what I do is I always start out by dividing this page in 4 because I do categorize my weekly expenses, and then once we have tabulated everything on this page, it is then transferred to this page here in my financial planner here on the right hand side. So let's start off by going ahead and dividing this page into 4. And the categories that I will be using is gas, food, which is groceries, restaurant and entertainment, and our Liberty spending, which on my expense tracker is called unplanned and other. So going forward, I will be changing this subcategory to Liberty spending so that there is no confusion between the two. So what I will do now is I'm going to be looking over to my right, which is where my transaction sheet that I printed out from my bank is, and I am going to go ahead and start by listing all the expenses that I had towards restaurant and entertainment. So the first one is from Popeyes in the amount of $21.71. The next restaurant withdrawal we had was in the amount of $9.36. Panera Bread was $5.96, and Taco Bell was $16.82. So already we are on July 28th, where it looks like I had another Panera Bread expense of $14.99, Red Lobster $8.68. No, I'm not a cheap date. My daughter just likes their cake, so I stopped by there to get her a slice of chocolate cake. Then there's a diner expense for $38.25. That concludes our restaurant and entertainment spending for that week. Next, we're going to go ahead and move on to our Liberty spending. And the first one I see on July 26th was for Joanne Crafts. I have to laugh because I always notice that our Liberty spending starts out with a craft store expense. Anyway, that was for $53.11. Next up, we have a Barnes & Noble for $21.13. And that is all of our spending from our Liberty spending allowance for that week. Now, I have to tell you just real quick, I'm going to stop for a minute and let you know that we were away for 3 days on vacay, the 4 of us. We are a family of 4. And so we were away from the 27th through the 29th. And so our spending out of this account was very, very low. We pulled all of our vacation expenses from the money market. And so you're going to find that for today's video, especially as I'm going through the weekly expenses, they're probably going to remain low. So anyway, next we're going to go on to our food and grocery bill. And the first withdrawal is in the amount of $31.22. We have one for $24.81. That was from Walmart. Then we have another Walmart for $7.60. And lastly, the grocery store for $17.02. And that was all we spent for food and groceries. Food and grocery will continue to be low probably through the end of September because we are still in, spending mode and buying a lot of food outside of the home to eat, which keeps our grocery bill relatively low. So now I want to move on to gas. And the first one is $22.57. Then we have $31.15. A gas receipt for $5.70, which is from my husband's motorcycle. And lastly, $9.27, and I'm sure that's from his motorcycle as well. So that is our gas. So I want to just change gears real quick, and we're going to now just go ahead and record all of the bills that were paid throughout this week. And the first one up is my Sprint bill for $307.89. Then our Verizon bill was $174.26. We had to pay to have a friend watch our dog while we were gone for 3 days. And so that was $100. And that was really just a thank you gift. And we have 3 other bills. I am on Weight Watchers. On their digital plan, that was $21.67, which I see I already recorded, even though the bill was just paid this week. And lastly is our auto insurance, which was $264. So now we're going to go ahead and down here on the bottom of the weekly expense tracker is where we record how much money we save throughout the week, here where these green dots are. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and write how much money went into each of these accounts during the week of the 25th through July 31st. So each week we put $60 into the emergency fund. The money challenge was $62 this week. The money market we will leave blank for now. And then the tax reserve account we put $131.30. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab up that calculator. And I want to go ahead and total out all of these categories so we could put them on the expense tracker. So for food, we have $80.65. And I'll put it here too. For gas, we have $68.69. For restaurant and entertainment, which is always our largest expenses for the week, is $115.77. And lastly was our unplanned and other, which is $74. and 24 cents. So like I said, because we were away for 3 days of the week, and any money spent during those 3 days was taken from the money market, that's why these categories are lower than normal this week. So I just want to share that with you. Now, what I do is I figure out how much money goes into the money market for the week. So to figure that out, we write down our starting balance, which was $1896.31, and we subtract all of the expenses we had for the week, including these categories here at the top, any bills that were paid, and monies that went towards all the savings accounts, with the exception of the money market, which is what we're trying to calculate now. So starting balance was $1,896.31. So we want to minus $68.69, $80.65, $115.77, $74.21, $60, $62, and $131.30. So we're going to go ahead and add these numbers and see what that total is, and then we're going to subtract it from the 18 plus $100, and that's going to give us the amount that we will be able to transfer into the money market. We also have to consider all of the bills that went out as well. Okay, so here we go. So this is $592.62. And the total of our bills was $100 for the dog sitting, $307.89 for the cell phone, $174.26 for Verizon, $21.67 for Weight Watchers, and $264 for our auto insurance. So let's go ahead and add this and see what that figure is. That's $867.82. So let's add those two numbers. That's 59262. That's $1,460.44. Okay, so we have our starting balance was $1,896.31. We are going to subtract the $1,460.44, and that's going to give us the total that we're going to add to our money market for the week. And that is $435.87, which will be going into the money market. So I'm done tracking our weekly expenses for the week of July 25th through July 31st. That is how I record our weekly expenses every Friday. This week it's a little bit late because we were away, and so my schedule has been modified, but typically this is my routine on Fridays. One thing that I am learning is that in order for me to better serve you, I need to find another tracking system that works both for me, but is also easy for me to demonstrate to you on screen. So if you like this content and you want me to continue to share my budgeting techniques with you, please let me know in the comments below, and I will devise a better system that works both for me and for you. This is Charyl from Planner with a Praise, saying peace and blessings.